All right, very good evening to one and all, and thank you so much for joining us for this Python webinar. We are continuing in our series of Python webinars. I'll just wait for a moment for the team to confirm that we are online. So just waiting for the team to confirm, and yes, yeah, we are online. Thank you so much. So thank you everybody for joining us on this webinar. This is a series in continuation of our Python series where every day we are going to cover some introductory concepts in Python. Python is a really easy and fun language to learn from. It's not too difficult. And the best part is if you've never done programming or if you've done very little programming, as most of us have, we can pick up Python really easily. It's not too difficult to pick it up, and you can understand it very well. And so this webinar series is generally for those of you who are looking to start a career in Python. This is the second part of the series. The first part we did yesterday. So after you finish the webinar today, do go ahead and watch that. Meanwhile, make sure you share this with your friends and make sure you subscribe to this channel for more updates. Please, the request is to share with those friends who are looking for a career in Python. This will be really beneficial to those. So those of you who are coming first time, let me start off by saying why you should learn Python. We covered this yesterday, but again, I just want to tell all of the people who are coming first time what is one of the reasons why you should definitely check out Python. And the reason why you should learn Python is it gives you a lot of avenues, a lot of scope. For example, if you are looking for a career in web development, which is a really hot market right now, a lot of companies are hiring on web development. Similarly, a lot of companies are hiring on machine learning, data analysis. What do all of these careers mean? I will explain that in just a bit. But if you're looking for a career in any of these, they all start with Python. So you need to have a fundamental knowledge of Python to even start a career here. I've seen many people, many instructors, courses say, you know what, I will teach you machine learning in 2 weeks. It's not possible to do that if you don't know Python. You need to know a Python background, then only you can do all of these things. So in web development, you have frameworks like Flask or Django. You might have heard of these things. You can't pick up these frameworks without learning Python. So you need to know Python to pick up any of these frameworks. Similarly, with machine learning, you have so many new things like TensorFlow or SciPy and so on. All of these things, if you don't know Python, it will be very difficult for you to even understand machine learning. Data analysis and scripting, this is one of those great places, great jobs or careers to get if you are okay at programming, but you are really good at your people skills. You like talking to people, you like understanding from people, then this requires a good knowledge of Python, but also some good people skills knowledge. So if you are in this domain, learning Python is going to be really beneficial for you and you can get a career. And the best part is all of these things have openings for freshers as well, especially web development, data analysis, scripting. These all have openings for freshers. So if you are a fresher who has not yet figured out what you want to do in your career, or you've probably passed out from college, you don't know what to do, or you are in your second, third or final year of college and you are figuring out how to get into the IT sector, Python is a really good way because the learning curve of Python is not too big. You can learn Python really quickly and then you can go to the advanced topics. And for that reason, Python has become the fastest growing language in the world. So currently, that's right, almost 30% of the entire programming language is written, all the programs written are in Python. That is, most developers prefer to use Python these days. There are many still developers doing Java and C++. Java has its own track. If you are going into web development or you're going to Android development, Java is a really good thing, but that pigeonholes you or puts you in a very specific career domain that you're going to follow only let's say Java or Android. If you're very focused on that, then this is a good way to go. If you want to go into a general IT field, that is, you want to go into web, or you want to go into machine learning, AI, you want to go into data science, you want to go into game development, all of this can be done with Python. And the reason is it's so easy to learn. That's why it's become easy for anybody to develop concepts in it, and so it's easy for you to learn. That's why so many careers are available in Python as well. Just to give an example about how easy it is to learn, I took this example yesterday also, is if you were writing a hello world program, this is how the hello world program would look in Java. It's similarly in C or C++, it would look this big, it would look this, so many words in the first attempt. Those of you who don't know, a hello world is basically like your 2 plus 2 when you do in maths. What's the first exercise you do in maths, you will do a 2 plus 2. So in programming, the first thing you do is you actually just print the words hello world. Now just look at this, the way you're printing this in Java, you're printing public, class, main. Now all of this is good if you understand Java, if you're willing to learn all of these things. But there are certain students who don't want to learn so much before implementing things. You just want to start implementing everything. In that case, learning Python is a really good way. For example, the same code written from Java in Python comes down to something like this. It is print hello world. That's it. That's all you have to do. It's called print hello world. So you'll just have to do a print statement and it will print it. So all of this verbose, all of these many words, how many are there? There are easily 15 words or something. In 3 words, we have written our hello world in Python. Now, this doesn't make Java wrong. It's just I want to illustrate that Python is a really easy language to pick up if you're a beginner. If you're an experienced programmer, you can pick up any programming language. But if you're a beginner, picking up Python is really easy. It's a really fun language to learn from. So that's what we're going to be covering in this series, about how easy it is to cover Python, how easy it is to pick it up, and how you can get into the advanced topics of Python, how you can start a career in Python. And so before I actually start with showing you the some concepts in Python. So today's specifically we are going to do a little bit of operators and conditionals in Python. So before I start with that, I just wanted to introduce you the course that we have designed for you to get into Python. This course has been specifically designed keeping in mind that you will want to eventually go for a career in Python or go for a job in Python. So the way you can access this course or even preview this course for free, that is, you can preview some part of the course for free. The way you can do that is you should go to the link. So if you just go to the link below, there is something called bit.ly/edyst_python. Go to that link below and you will come to this page. So just showing you that page, you'll come to the following page. And on this page, you will get the entire detailed syllabus of Python about what we're going to cover. The best part is all of these companies hire on Python. That is, whichever coding round you sit for in these companies, they all accept Python. In fact, Infosys runs a special program called InfyTQ that is geared specifically towards Python. So this InfyTQ is only and only on Python. They are trying to choose the best Python developers and trying to get them into Infosys. So if you learn Python, you can actually crack InfyTQ. The kind of subjects, the topics that we're going to cover this time in Python are, we are assuming you don't know any programming. So that's why the basics also starts from things like printing numbers and printing words and so on. So if you look at over here, the syllabus that we have is like printing numbers, values and data types. We covered some of this yesterday, but we assume that you don't know any programming language or you know very, very little. We start from there. We start building up your concepts in the introduction part, and then we start doing a little bit of strings, functions, conditionals, and really what we are doing in this part is building up your programming muscle. We are helping you build up the logic. We are not there to just teach you the syntax, that is how to write in Python, but all of this part is actually about how you can learn the logic of any question, so that while you can code in Python, you can easily do that in any other programming language also. So that is what we're doing over here. At the end of the introduction, we'll do a really fun project, and that project will be that, let's say you have some files on your computer. We're going to take those files and we're going to start organizing them. We'll put all of the movies in one folder, all of the songs in one folder, all through Python. After you execute that script, it will not even take 1 second to organize your entire desktop. So that's a fun project that we're going to look at on how to do it. The second project that we're going to look at is after the advanced part. So in the advanced concepts, we're going to go to the core of Python. We're going to check what are the core functionalities of Python, what are some of the inbuilt functions of Python. We're going to take the full power out of it, and we're going to at the end write a project that actually uses some internet APIs. What do I mean by that? You might have heard of some services like Zomato, the food delivery app, or Spotify, the music app. Well, we are going to actually hit these apps. That is, we're going to actually use those apps and do some manipulation. We're going to find out what is the best restaurant in and around our city. What is the best song that everybody is listening to right now? We will get that. We will display it. We will do some fun things with that. So that is what we're going to do in the final project. So a lot of fun is going to be had over here. It's not just that we're going to do learning. We're going to use all the concepts to do a lot of fun stuff. And the questions on our platform are also structured in that way. So let me just give you an example, and with this we'll start with the topics that we have for today. And the topic that we have for today are a little bit of operators and a little bit of conditionals. So the way I want to introduce that to you is actually I want to start with a little bit of topics of strings, and I want to show you how powerful Python is when it comes to these things. So let me just open that up for you. 1 second. Yes. So once you log in to the Edyst platform and you actually click apply now, when you click apply now over here, you will get something like this. For you, the first module will be completely free to do. So this entire module is a playground which is free for you to do. And in fact, all of the questions that we discussed today will be available for you to do over here. So these are a free module that you can do in this Python section. What I want to show you is some strings questions which I will open up for free for you also. So I'll show you a very basic string question and I'll show you how it actually works. So before I do that, a quick recap on what we were discussing yesterday, and that is a little bit about strings. So what exactly is a string, and why do we even need a string? All right, so let me just open up my slides to show you. 1 second. All right. So yesterday we were talking about this concept of strings. A string is nothing but anytime you want to store a word with Python, you store it in a single quotes or double quotes. For example, we know that this word is a word, or for example, this word is a word. And we know that this is a number. Let's say 2 is a number and 5.5 is a decimal. We know this. But to make Python understand this, it separates them into different data types. So 5.5 is stored as a float. That's what a decimal number is called for Python. And a whole number, an integer number, is called an int. Any of these words are called as strings. So we have a strings here, we have strings over here. This is what a string is called. This is a string data type. A string data type is always surrounded by single quotes, either single quotes or double quotes. It doesn't matter. Both of them are same in Python. So whenever we have a word to store, we can store it like this. We can also store it inside a variable. So for example, we can do something like name is equal to Sachin, right? We can actually do this, and the word Sachin, the text Sachin, or the string Sachin is going to be stored into the name variable. Okay. So now that we know this, and I will urge everybody who's coming first time, in yesterday's webinar we covered how you can print out these words, how you can print out these strings. But now that we have this, how can we do some fun things with the strings? And Python really allows some really cool fun things to do with the string. Just to give you an example, let's open up one basic question and show you what you could do with some strings. All right, so this question is a spy question. So the question basically says that what we are given over here is we are a secret agent and we must generate an agent name. So we are a secret agent right now and we have to generate an agent name. The agent name is the combination of the first, third and fifth letter of your name. So that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to get the first, third and fifth letter of the name and get our agent name. Now, as we know, defining a name can be done through single quotes. That is what's been done over here. We have a single quotes and some name has already been defined. Name is equal to something, right? It's already been defined over here. What it's asking is, can we get the first, third and fifth letter of our name and store it as our agent name? Okay, so we have to take some values from the first name and store it in the next part. So just to show you what that actually means, what we have over here is, let me just get that up. So we have this name. Let's say if we have Sachin, right? But I don't want the entire name Sachin. What I want to do is I want to get the first name, the first alphabet, the third alphabet, and the what were the alphabets? The first, third, and fifth alphabets. I want the first, that's S, C, and fifth alphabets. How can we do this? If you do this in any of the other programming languages, it becomes really difficult to do. But in Python, it's not really that difficult to do as such. So how would you go about doing this in Python? Well, the way you do this is you'd select a very specific index. And what do I mean by an index? It means that what you have is this thing, this Sachin, is internally represented in Python in the same way except that this S is given the index 0, this A is given the index 1, C is given 2, H 3, I 4, N 5. Starting from 0, each of the alphabets or characters are given some index over here. So if I just wanted to extract the first element, what I'm going to do is, let's say this is stored in the name variable. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do name of 0. If I do this, I extracted the first alphabet, that is S. If I wanted to extract the third alphabet, what is the third alphabet? C, which will be 2. So I need to extract the name of 2, which is nothing but C, and so on. So it's very simple in Python to do. If I just do name equals to Sachin and do name 0, I'm going to get S. So let's just go back to the question and see what the question says. So what the question was saying was, I have with me a name. I have given a string name and I have to print the agent name. So how do I get the agent name? Let's have a look. Let me define agent underscore name. What did we say? It is the first, third and fifth letter. To get the first letter, I do name of 0. To get the second letter, the third letter, I do name of 2. So name of 0 will give me the first character plus, and in Python you can do this, you can just add the string, it will be plus, and then I again do name of, I want the fifth character, which will be nothing but name of 4. I got agent name, I just need to print it. So I do print agent underscore name. That's what the question says. I'm given some name. We don't bother about what the name is. By the looks of it, it's a really big name. We don't even understand it. But we know that the agent name is the sum of name of 0, name of 2 and name of 4, which is nothing but the first, third and the fifth character, right? So, and if you print the agent name, then it should work out. So let's just print the agent name and see, is it okay? Yes, it is. So actually the output comes exactly like Ram, because the first is R, then the third is A, and the fifth is M. So we got Ram as the output. So, and when we submit it, and yes, we passed all the test cases. Great. So just to show you again, this was how do you access alphabets in a string in Python. It's pretty simple, pretty easy to do. This is just an example. You can also do it on the free playground, but it's an example to show you how simple it is to do things in Python. Let's look at another example, but this time a little bit related to operators. So this will be, when I say operators, it's nothing but how do you do plus, minus and things like that. So let me look at this operator thing, and let us look at this question called rectangle calculations. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to tell you how do you even do this question, and you will think that this is pretty much like English. This was a very easy way to do something. All right, so what we're supposed to do is write a program that takes as input the length and breadth of a rectangle. You must print the area and the perimeter of the rectangle. So let's just revise 1 second what all of this is. There's a lot of maths over here suddenly. So let's just understand what this even means. All right. So I'm just going back to my slides. So we're given a rectangle. If you remember your maths, you have a rectangle like this. You have a length and you have a breadth, right? So this is your L, this is your B, is your length and the breadth. And what is the area of the rectangle? The area of the rectangle, if you remember your maths, is L into B, that is length into breadth. And the perimeter of the rectangle is nothing but the sum of the sides. So it's going to be L plus B plus L plus B. It's nothing but 2 into L plus B. So that's what the perimeter is, and this is the area is. Or just to put it in simpler terms for those of you who are not really sure of how the maths works, this is the area, that is all of the area inside the rectangle is the area, and the perimeter is this border. What is the length of this border? So the length of the border is nothing but B plus L plus B plus L, which is nothing but 2 into L plus B. All right. Now, one thing the question says is we are supposed to take input from the user. That is, the length and breadth are not given, rather the user is going to supply it to us. What I'll do is I'll start writing the code, because I want you to see how easy it is to write this. Just by watching me write it, you will start understanding the concept yourself also. So let me give you an example. I do length and breadth, right? So what we're supposed to do is we're going to get the length and the breadth, and we're going to print the area and perimeter of the rectangle. We are going to get the input something like this, 5 and 10. 5 could be the length, 2 could be the breadth, right? So what I need is, first I need to take the input. The way you take input in Python, can you guess? It's a very easy function. It's called input. That's it. That's how easy it is to take input from the user. Um, what input is going to give me is it's going to give me a string. Those of you who didn't watch yesterday, yes, this is nothing but a comment. The way you give a comment in Python is by giving a hash. A comment is our internal nodes. Python will ignore this. It's not going to actually do anything with this thing, with this hash. So this input is going to be a string. We need to convert it to an integer. How do you convert to an integer? Simple. Just do int of input and it's converted to an integer. And we need to store this somewhere. How do we do it? Length is equal to int input. So it's converted string to an integer. This is just for our nodes. So we got length is equal to int input, breadth is equal to int input. Now we have our length, we have our breadth. What did we say? What is the value of the perimeter? So perimeter is equal to 2 into length plus breadth. This is exactly how you would write in your maths class. It's exactly how you're supposed to write it. It's as simple as that. There is no special functions to remember here. Same with the area. Area is equal to length into breadth. That's it. And then what are we supposed to do? We are supposed to print the perimeter and print the area. So this is how we do it. Print. We'll use it like this. Perimeter, comma, perimeter. And because what is this doing? This is printing the word perimeter. We need to print a colon also. Word perimeter, comma, it's going to give a space and going to print the value of perimeter. Similarly, we are going to print area and then we are going to print area. That's it. So we're going to print the word area and then we're going to print the variable area. Let us run this and see whether we are doing it correct or whether we took it too lightly. Let's see what the output is. The output is exactly what's required. That is, the expected output is 30, output is 30. That's great. And let's just submit it and see whether it passes all our test cases. It does. Brilliant. Awesome. But one thing I want you to understand is how easy it was to write this. If you wrote the same thing in another programming language, it would be very difficult for you to understand and write. But this was a very simple example that we took, and just writing this code in Python was such a joy to write. It was so easy to understand and write this. So that's the major takeaway that I want you to take, that coding in Python is quite easy. It's exactly like writing it in English. If you just understand the small syntaxes, you are just writing the logic part. All right, you're not doing too much apart from the logic. So it's a very simple way to write a program. Yesterday I got certain requests from students to do a more advanced question, not to do such an easy question. So those of you who want to follow along, let me invite you to this. I'm going to do a more advanced question, and that's the last question I'll do for today. And let me open this question called Sasha and 7. So there is this question, it's called Sasha and 7, and I'm going to do that question. It is a little bit advanced. It involves if-else conditions, but let's go through it. For those of you who are tuned to logic, for those of you who like to do advanced questions, this will be good. For those of you who don't understand anything, don't worry, watch the webinar. All right, watch the webinar with me and you will start getting a feel of how programming actually works. So let's go ahead and solve this logical question. You will realize that it's more about logic and less about the code. Okay, so let's look at this interesting question. It says Sasha just loves the number 7 and considers it lucky. She loves it so much that she has a formula to understand if a pair of numbers are lucky or not. So if any or both of the numbers are 7, then the pair is lucky. If the sum of the numbers is 7, then the pair is lucky. If the absolute difference of the two numbers is 7, then the pair is lucky. So we have to do something. Just ignore this part. We have to print either if the pair is lucky or if the pair is not lucky. So let's just understand the question first and then we'll go ahead further. What we have is we are given a pair of numbers. So we are given a pair of numbers, that is we're given two numbers over here, and the numbers could be anything, could be something like 10 and 20. All right, and we have to say if these two numbers are lucky or not. The numbers are lucky under two conditions. All right, if any or both of them are 7. So let's say if either 10 is 7 or 20 is 7, then it's lucky. That's not the case. It's not lucky here. If sum of the numbers is 7, so 10 plus 20 is 30, again that's not 7, so it's not lucky because of that. If the absolute difference of the two numbers is 7, What is the absolute difference over here? The absolute difference is nothing but the difference between the two numbers without the sign. For example, if you do 10 minus 20, it's going to be minus 10, which is nothing but the absolute number is 10 over here. So that's the absolute difference. So neither of the numbers is 7, so it's not lucky. Sum is not 7, so it's not lucky, and the absolute difference is not 7, so it's also not lucky. In this case, we are going to print unlucky. So we have to check for three conditions. Is any of the numbers 7? Then it's lucky. If the sum is 7, then it's lucky. Or if the absolute difference is 7, then it's going to be lucky. In all other cases, it's going to be unlucky. So how would you actually define this in English? We are going to do that, and you'll see that the answer is pretty simple. There's not much of of programming that you need to know to actually solve this. And this is the last question for today before we leave. So let me just open up. We are given the two numbers num1 and num2. For now, don't bother about what this solve means. It's a little bit of an advanced concept, but just follow along here. You're given num1 and num2. What we're told is if any of the numbers are 7, then we know that it is lucky. Well, how will you check if a number is 7 or not? You use the if statement, and the if statement is just checks this: if num equal to 7. What does equal to 7 mean? It checks if the number is 7 or not. So if num1 equal to 7, it's lucky, or if num2 equal to 7, then it's going to be lucky, right? So at that point, what we're going to do is print lucky, right? So yeah, we're going to do print lucky. Now let's say this is not the case. In that case, what do we have to check? If sum of both the numbers, so that is num1 plus num2, num1 plus num2 is equal to 7. If this is the case, then also it is lucky. So we just copy what we had over here and we'll do is lucky. Otherwise, if num1 minus num2 is equal to 7. Again, if you remember, this was not really the condition. It was if the absolute value of num1 minus num2. And so in Python, how would you do absolute value? Again, it's simple. If you just did abs, you will get the answer. Again, you'll do print lucky. Now, if neither of these, that is all three conditions, are unlucky, then what do we do? Else, any of these conditions are unlucky, then we do not lucky. So this is a bit of an advanced question. I hope you're all following around. If you have any doubts, you can just reach out to me right now on the chat. Just say what your doubt is, or any other questions you have, you can reach out on the chat and I'll help you answer that. But I want you to just look at this code and see. It's so easy to understand. We might have made a mistake here. We'll come to know by clicking run whether it's working correctly or not. But it's so easy to understand over here. It's almost like you're just thinking and writing the code and it just comes along, right? So let me run the code and see whether it's working or not. Is there going to be any issue or any problem? Well, it says that this code is running now. Let me submit and see whether it works. Oh, great, it worked. Let's see. So if you just followed the logic, all you had to do was translate that logic into the code, and the translation of the logic into the code wasn't too difficult because the numbers are that simple to understand. The logic, the language is that simple to understand. So just wanted to bring you back to that point that I was mentioning earlier, that why Python has taken off so much as one of the most popular programming language is because it's really simple and easy to learn. That's why 30% of the market share goes to Python, and it's just so easy to learn, and you can pick up a career in any one of these fields simply because it's so easy to learn. So if you are interested in starting your career in Python, do reach out to us. We will offer you a free counseling session to talk about how you can start your career in Python in any one of these places. And it's just that simple to learn Python, really. Like, you just keep typing, keep writing as you would in English, and it will automatically translate very well into Python. So what I'll do right now is I'm going to just in about 2 minutes open it up for question and answer. So if anybody has any doubts, any questions, please put it on the right hand side on the chat, and I'll be more than happy to help you in understanding the doubts and the questions if you have any doubts. So just write it on the chat and I'll come back to that. And just as a recap, today we covered a little bit of operators. That's just your plus, minus, and or. We covered a little bit of that, and we also covered how do you take some parts of a string outside. So we covered that as well. So if you have any questions, more than happy to answer you. Otherwise, do let me know if you have. And yeah, so just one last thing before we sign off for today. All right, so if you have any questions or doubts, you can reach out to us on the WhatsApp number below, and ping us or message us on this number, or you can call us, or you can email us on the given email as well. So if you want to sign up for the Python course that we have, just go to bit.ly/edyst_python and you will land up on that. There is one free module for you to do. So if you want to just test out, learn a little bit of Python, just go and attempt that free module, and you will get the free module, and you'll also get access to chatting with me as well. So yeah, I'll take any questions right now.
So Subramaniam, who was also in our earlier webinar, is asking the question: what is meant by slicing in Python?
So Subramaniam is asking an interesting question about what is meant by slicing in Python. So this was a concept I wanted to cover today, but I didn't want to confuse a lot of people. So basically, slicing is a very simple and easy concept, and that is, let's say you're given a name like this. All right, so you're given a name like Sachin, and yes, we are all cricket fans, so we keep taking the name Sachin here. You're given a name Sachin. If you just do this name 0 to 2, it's going to start from the 0th alphabet and go all the way up to the second alphabet, but not include the second alphabet. So it's going to do the 0 1. It's not going to do the second element. So if you do that, you're going to store the word sa in it, that is SA. The taking up of partial strings from a major string is called as slicing. So you can just slice this entire thing. So let's say you start from 3. So you have 0 1 2. You start from 3, go all the way up to 6. So it will take 3 4 5 and not include 6. So that 3 4 5 is what is called is what will be stored in partial lim, and you will get HIN over here. So that is a slicing concept. It's a simple concept. For more, you can check out the Edyst platform. And as I was saying before the end, just before starting the questions, on the Edyst platform, if you have any doubts, you can just reach out to me directly. So in case you're stuck, you don't have the question or the answer right now, please just open this chat up, search for Aneeq, and you can just reach out to me. As you can see, some people have already reached out to me. So you can just reach out to me and I'll answer your doubts as well.
A couple of questions. I think it's constant across our other webinars. When you use what is in the basics and what is in the thing, and how long will the basics take and how long will the advanced take?
Right. So a lot of good questions right now. One of the questions is, how long will this course take? What is the difference between the basics and the advanced? Should I even, go ahead with something like this? So we have termed this course specifically intro plus advanced because it covers both intro topics and advanced topics. It is very, very tuned for any fresher who is looking to start their job in AI, ML or web development, because without sound knowledge of Python, you will not be able to go for these kind of careers. So just to give you an example, the kind of topics that we're covering here are topics of the very, very basics. That is, we are covering right from, even if you don't know what a string is, what an integer is, we're covering from there. We're going all the way up to a project where you will be able to manipulate files. That is, you'll be able to organize your files. Now, what is there in the basic? In the basics, there's a lot of basic concepts, but there's a lot of logic building. So just like how you saw the Sasha and 7 question today, it's a logic building question. We first understood the logic and then we wrote it into code. So we're going to do a lot of logic building over there, such that it will help you so much in your career that these concepts will stay with you through your entire career. You will be able to jump jobs, get a better promotion because your logic is so strong. Then we will go into very Python specific stuff in the advanced section. So in the advanced section, we will cover things like data structures, we will cover things like APIs, files. All of these things will make you a much better Python programmer. And these things, if you're going for machine learning or web development, anybody will expect that you already know these things. No instructor, no course is going to teach you all of these from scratch if you're going for web development or AI or ML. So you already need to know these things beforehand. How long will this entire thing take? It will take you around 12 weeks to complete the entire intro plus advanced. So that's 12 weeks completely. But I have known students who have completed it in 8 weeks also. And I have known students who take some more time. So you can do it at your own pace. If you sign up for this course is valid for you for an entire year. So you can keep referring to this contents for an entire year and you will have access to it. But it should take you roughly on average around 12 weeks or 3 months to complete the course.
Very good question. Somebody is asking, will Python replace Java?
So, very good question. Someone asked, is Python going to replace Java? See, most of the programming languages have their own niche. That is, they have their own thing that they're good at. Java is really good at two things. One is financial applications. All of the finance companies use Java. The other thing that it's good at is Android. So, Android is completely written in Java. If till date, if you want to become an Android programmer, you want to go into Java. And Android is continuously expanding. More and more people are using smartphones, so more and more apps will be needed. Python and Java will coexist. If you are someone who wants to go into mobile apps, you like to develop mobile games, Java is a good place to go. If you are someone who is looking to go into AI, ML, web development, scripting, data analysis, data science, then Python is the thing to do, because Python is a very general language. As you saw, it is almost reads like English. So it's very easy to pick up. The other reason why a lot of people choose Python is because it's easy for beginners to understand. So more and more people are choosing Python because of that. It's not going to replace or not replace. They will both coexist. Just like how C++ is still used in the market, doesn't mean that it's replaced Java or Java has replaced C++.
I think one of the last questions is, you introduced some concepts in the earlier webinar and some today, operators and conditionals. Where can we practice?
So, very good question. Where can we practice these topics that were discussed in yesterday's webinars and today's webinars? You can just log into edyst.python. That's bit.ly/edyst_python. It's mentioned in the strip below. bit.ly/edyst_python. Click apply now. So you will come to this page. Let me open that up for you. When you do bit.ly/edyst_python, you are going to get this particular page. Let me just open it up. Yeah, so you will land up on this page, and when you click apply now, so when you click apply now over here, at this point you will get into the Python course. So when you go to the Python course, just 1 second. Yeah, when you go to the Python course, this is what you will see. This first box is free for you to do, and you know what, around 3 students have already completed this complete free module. So what we discussed today, I'm going to add this. So after this webinar, you can go and actually check out this free module and you can do some of that. But yesterday's webinars, everything is there. You can go and try out some free questions, and also the remaining part of it will be available to you once you join the course as well. So yes, if you are interested in trying out all the exercises that I did today, just go to this free module and do the exercises. Right. Thank you so much everybody for joining. It's great to see so many of you have an interest in getting a career in Python, in software. If you like this video, please comment on the chat that you liked being there, that you found this useful, and we'll do many more of these. In fact, we have a lot more webinars planned. We have one planned for tomorrow and the upcoming week. So make sure that you subscribe to this channel. You will get a notification about the upcoming schedule. We are going to go even deeper into Python, see some more advanced things, and one thing you will understand is, no matter how advanced we get in Python, reading Python and understanding Python will be very easy. So join me tomorrow to understand, how to do some more advanced things in Python while still understanding the logic properly. So thanks so much everybody for joining. We are really excited to see so many of you trying to get a career in Python. Make sure you sign up for the free module. You just need to click the link below over here. That is bit.ly/edyst_python. The link will be available in the description also. You just need to click apply now and start the free module. And if you have any doubts, I am available on the chat, so you can reach out to me personally on the chat and I will also answer you, and there are other mentors as well. So thanks everybody for joining. Don't forget to subscribe. Please do share with your friends who are looking to start a career in IT. This will be greatly beneficial for them. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next webinar. All the best everybody.